I'm Dr. Judy, and this is, well, in my opinion. Today we're asking the question, should you date long distance?
Tried it.
No good?
Well, it was really good. We were like writing a script together and he lived in London and it was so exciting to FaceTime all day and all that shit. And then at the end of the day, I was just like, damn, but like, we can't have sex on the phone. Like, I can't be penetrated by your voice. And for me, that was tough. And it was for him too, because he went back to his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
So it was just too hard. It was too hard for me with work, and the time change was a killer.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm already waking up to work, I'm not waking up 3 hours earlier to FaceTime your ass. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's kind of selfish.
I think
but
logistically it's very difficult to maintain or pull off for any extended amount of time. Like you said, it's kind of fun for a short amount of time.
Feels
but
exciting
eventually
at the beginning.
You want to have a person that you can be with all the time, I would think.
When you meet that person and you hit it off, you're like, oh, like we're just going to keep working at this until one of us can make that move. And you keep talking about that and hyping it up and being like, well, in 2 months you're going to be in LA. Like, and then after a month you're like, shit, I haven't talked to you in a week.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
hard,
hard
especially
to
with Instagram and TikTok. And have you ever dated anyone long distance?
Yeah. I had a great, kind of long distance, San Francisco, San Diego.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely a distance.
It was a bit of a trick. It was, it was exciting. We'd see each other once a month or something, but it was not sustainable unless I was going to move to San Francisco.
And you were like, nah, come here.
Yeah.
And then they're like, nah, come here.
You start to drift, you start to drift and you start to catch the eye, and then you know the same thing's happening with them. And then there's trust issues, and it just gets weird.
And then you're like, wait, why do I care so much? We're not like even dating.
Yeah.
When you date someone long distance, they can go back to their crib wherever. And I'm like, I don't even know if you're messy. I've never seen your place.
Exactly.
I don't know if you know how to cook.
Yeah. All the things that you learn about
or
somebody
if you live
spending
with 6
real time
roommates
with
and they're all
them.
50 and their names are Jim. Like, I don't know anything like that.
Yeah.
Or if you live with your mom, which is fine. But just tell me. Yeah, it just gets weird.
While long distance relationships aren't common, if you're in one, you're not alone. 4% of the United States is currently in a long distance romantic relationship. Not surprisingly, when asked, most couples cite a lack of physical intimacy as their biggest challenge in a long distance relationship.
I'm down for a long distance relationship if we built a trust and a bond, just because, obviously I'm not finding nothing right now in LA. So if it happened to be long distance, why not? Like, I'm definitely open to it. I've done it before. We just broke up because we just had different like paths in life. He didn't do anything wrong, but I'm definitely down for like long distance.
One of my first relationships was long distance, and it worked for a while, but I was so young and there were so many boundaries I did not set and I didn't know, but that's so important. If you start out a relationship long distance, that's very difficult. Like you said,
it is.
Like you said, you got to build that trust in that relationship first. So building that and then having a long distance relationship, that totally can work.
It's hard to do a long distance relationship if you don't really know the person in the beginning.
It takes a specific person to be able to hold a long distance relationship, and so you have to be really honest with yourself. Is this person really willing to give that heart and that drive and that passion into the relationship and to show that they care and they want to make it work and, have the resources to do it as well, along with yourself? Are you in the right place? And what is your plan? And what is their plan?
And are we going to ever like come together and actually?
Yeah. Is there a plan at the end of this game to be able to live together?
Yeah,
I know that if I'm
here.
dating long distance, they eventually have to be able to make their way over to Los Angeles.
And that's one of the reasons why like my past relationship didn't work, because it was the distance, and he wanted to stay in a certain state.
Everybody's focus and priorities change as they get older, as their careers change and whatnot. So you can only look into the crystal ball so far. And is it worth it to really give that a shot? Is the connection that amazing?
Is
yeah.
Because you could be low-key wasting your time a little bit if if you guys don't see yourself meeting each other at the end of the tunnel.
Right. And like they say, love is blind, and sometimes it clouds your judgment, and you're willing to do anything for a particular person, and you're willing to drop your career and your family and this and that and the other. But it's about really being real, and I think that comes with experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad I did it, because it allowed me to see who I truly am and what I need out of something like that. But it's very complicated. It's hard, but it can be done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too.
Long distance relationships might sound romantic at first, but logistically they can get pretty difficult. Many people do have a term during their relationship where they are long distance because of work or because of other issues. But the most important thing is that there's still some way to connect every day. What I hear from people in long distance relationships is that by the time they get to the end of the day, they don't want to have to recap their whole day for their partner. And of course, that causes them to grow apart. And the connection doesn't have to be recapping. It can be things where you share an experience together, that you're on the phone together and watching a TV show together. You're on the phone together and you're eating dinner together. Still have those shared experiences. That's the most important thing to keeping a long distance relationship intact. I'm Dr. Judy, and this has been, well, in my opinion. Like and subscribe below. This episode is brought to you by Giddy, the source of sexual health and wellness news and information. If you have any sexual health or wellness questions, go to getmegiddy.com.